The Ultimate ORB Trader is a professional trading tool for MetaTrader 5, built to automate any opening range breakout or ORB strategy. Beyond automation, it can also be used as a research tool to identify and test new strategies through optimization. In this video, I'll guide you step by step on how to use these features effectively. Okay, let's get started. And on the screen there are the 7 steps which you need to follow. So I've got it on the screen, but we will run through each of these one by one and show you how we do it and why we do it. So the first one is the set parameters for optimization. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Okay, so we are on the VPS and this is where I do my testing. So first up, make sure the Ultimate ORB Trader has been installed. Make sure you're in the strategy tester. So if you can't see that, it's this one here. So I can turn it off. Do this to turn it back on. You want to select it. Ultimate ORB Trader. And what you then need to do is define the parameters in which you want to optimize. And one of the quickest ways to do this is if you open up an existing set file. So if you right click, go to load. These are my set files for the Ultimate ORB Trader. So perhaps pick any of these. Pick this one, for example. This is for US Tech, and that's NASDAQ. And then what you can do is if you go to just make sure the optimization, sometimes it will be on disabled, which means you just run a back test. But if you go to fast generative optimization, make sure it's on complex criterion max, then look at the inputs, and you will find that once you've installed a set file, it will use the parameters which I have been using. So you can see here which ones are ticks. These are the ones where we will go through and optimize. So you can see here what it'll do is it's going to cycle through all the sessions for the European session and US, just those two. If I can set to your custom, I can do the custom one as well. But for this one, and the custom one is actually a new feature. So I know quite a few of you have asked about optimizing for sessions outside of New York and London, so perhaps the Asian session you want to have a look at. You can do that now. If you want to, say for example, do that, you can take that off, force it to just look at the custom session, and then you can optimize these timelines so you can get to cycle through the times. And I've given sort of like optimization hints so you can put in the ones that you need. But for example, for this one here, I'm going to optimize European and US sessions, so only two different parameters here to optimize against. And then in the phase 1, what I've told it is we're going to start at the 5 minutes and we get jump in steps of 5, which means it's going to go 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15, 20, 25, 30, which is 6 steps. Likewise for phase 2, we're going to go and tell it to look from 1 minute to 30 minutes. If you double click on that, you'll see that from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 steps, which is why we have 11 here. So 11 permutations or combinations. And we're going to go through from fixed points, which is up here, to the volatility, so all the way to the bottom. And there's 12 take profits we're going to cycle through, 14 stop loss types that we're going to cycle through. And it's going to do the same thing. So 39 here, different points values. So you can go through all this. You can see that actually if you have done basic stats as a child in maths, you'll work out the number of combinations that it will cycle through. And it's a hell of a lot. I don't know, maybe it's 1 billion or something like that, but it's huge. And this could take a lot of time. So for myself, it can take a good 2-3 days to go through an optimization. So let's look back at the steps. So then data quality is the next step. So let's go and look at data quality. So data quality refers to this line here, modeling. The two that I consider, every tick based on real ticks, this is the best one. But this one significantly increases the time required to complete your optimization. And the other one which works for this one is 1 minute OHLC. This is almost 10-20 times faster, but the data quality is a lot less. So I will start with this one for your first optimization pass. Okay, now we have timeline for optimization. So the optimization process is basically the system looking for the best settings against historical data. and it can only be historical data because that's what we know in terms of what it has seen in the past. We can't tell what the future is. So when we talk about in sample and out of sample data for optimization, we are simply referring to the historical data. In sample means that we are going to be optimizing the variables and the different steps you've seen just now against the data. So this will be so for example, 60% of the data is going to be in sample. So the data is going to be optimized against that. So let me show you what that means. And then 33% of that is outside of that. So let me just go back to our chart. And what I tend to do is I'll go for 2024, the 1st of January 2024 to the present date. And one thing that's quite annoying with a lot of brokers now is that they don't actually provide enough good quality data. They'll only give you a couple of years, whereas a few years back you can get data going back 10 years. But I think it really meant a lot of extra bandwidth, and you know, not a lot of people actually use it. Only a small proportion of the algo traders use this, so they've cut it down dramatically, which is not good for us. And you can download additional data from third-party sites. So what that means is from 1st of January 2024 to 28th of January 2025, so over a year, we are going to be optimizing against that data. And then for the final third of that, which will be from this date, so 28th of the January 2025 until present date, we will also have the backtest run. So basically we optimize against this date, so 1 year of data, look for the best settings, and then it will have settings that is not seen or historical data that is not seen. So this is from this date and that date, and we run a backtest against each of those to see what that looks like. And then this is the longest part, the waiting for results. So I will show you what you need to do. You just literally have to hit this button and it will set everything up. You can go to the journal or journal, and it will start. You can see these little dots appear. I'll explain to you what these mean, and it will count up. It may look like it'd be quite quick, and it really depends on this setting. So 1 minute OHLC may be a lot quicker, so maybe 35 minutes. I don't know whether, I guess it will be a couple of hours perhaps. But you can see in my machine I've got a 64 core machine Threadripper. So 64 cores obviously is a lot quicker than a standard machine. And you can look at the journal and literally just wait for this to run. And I'm going to stop this and show you what the next step is. So let's stop it. So next step is analyze results and shortlisting. So this is where we shall analyze the optimizations. So let me show you how to do that. So if you go here, you can look at your previous optimizations. So I'm not going to do the latest one because that one's today, but just to show you this one. A complete optimization graph looks like this one, and this is sorted by the complex criterion max, which I feel is the best one. What you're looking for is these are the optimization results on the in sample data, and these are the forward results. So this is the out of sample data. And what you're looking for is the forward results, complex criterion. So complex criterion rates everything from 0 to 100, with 100 being the best. And it's the same for both the forward testing and the back testing, or the in-sample data versus the out-of-sample data. What you're trying to find is the best combination. And ideally what you want is both the forward test and the back test to be as high as possible. You can sort by profits, all this kind of stuff. You sort by anything you want. You can sort by profits, and you might think, wow, this is a fantastic value, and you double click, then go to graph. It will show you what the optimization looks like. And what I don't like is this green line is showing you closed trades. So it's gradually going down, 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 even though there are open positions which are not closing, but they're actually growing. And I don't like seeing profits accumulate like this, because what you're not seeing are swaps. This line is showing when the forward test happens. So you can see this is the in sample data. This is what happened, and this is the out of sample. And pretty much it's not that pretty, is it? I mean, we don't get any closed trades. It keeps everything open. So I would not select this one. And that's the problem when you look through these results. If you select just the highest number, but this number, the complex criterion is low, that doesn't really give you any positive results. So you need to find something that's safe. So if we click on result, go to the highest number. And this is possibly the best one. You see the profits are a lot lower. And I know this one will do very, very well for the in-sample data. So you double click. But what we want to see is what it does when it comes to the outer sample data. So this is all in sample. Wait for the vertical line. There it is. So you can see when we use it for the outer sample data. So this is full testing when it hasn't seen the data. It does pretty badly. It doesn't do anything. So that's why you have to go to forward tests. You need to find the one where both the forward tests and the back tests are the highest possible numbers together. And it's usually extremely difficult to find something that does match. And you have to go through hundreds sometimes. So I'm going to just go down here and see if I can find something where the back test and so maybe this one, the 99 in the back test, 73 on the forward test. You see that it's made very little profit in the forward test, but let's try it. Double click. So this is the in-sample data, and let's wait for the vertical line, and you can see that it's not so good really. It does have a big drop here. So I won't select that because I like the look of this. Ideally you want it to look just like this one. This one we get to a point where it's in massive drawdown. Eventually it loses a ton of money, and then we end up actually losing because this is the starting point actually of the forward test, and this is the end point. So it's actually lost money. And you practically have to go through all of this to find something that will work, and you will not find this. Sometimes there are no optimizations which work for a particular pair or time frame, and you have to start again and find something else. So I will keep searching. Maybe I'm going to sort under forward test now. Go to the top. Forward test is 99, so that's great, but let's find something high. I think this is our previous one, was it? Let's try this one. So it goes up, and let's wait for the forward test. Forward test. That actually could work quite well. Can you see why that could work quite well? Because this is actually the line going up. That's the complete back test for the in-sample data, and from here is the back test for the outer sample data. And what you could do is if you just go here, settings, turn off, go to no, and then run this again, you should now get the full back test across the whole lot. So it looks pretty good. If you go to back test, 1.8 profit factor, it looks pretty good. Maximum drawdowns here and here looks pretty good as well. But we're not finished. We have to make sure that you now go to every tick based on real ticks and see if you get the same results. If you do, then this is one which I would take into the next step, which is forward testing. And if not, then we have to start again. So do that, every tick based on real ticks, click on start again. Let's run it on every tick based on real ticks and see what it looks like. Now this one will take a little bit longer because it is running against real data. You can see it's starting off, it does not look anything like the previous backtest where we used a different data modeling. I can tell now it's not good, so I don't need to progress that. I need to stop it, and I know that is no good. So we cannot use this one, even though in the data modeling where we use the different data quality, it was okay. We cannot use this one, unfortunately. So it is back to the drawing board. You know the steps that you need to follow. So I'll just go back to our steps diagram. We need to find something where we could take and actually do real forward testing. So real forward testing is where you install the set file that you have found where it performs well, both in the in-sample and outer sample, and where the data quality is every tick based on real ticks. So you can do that. If you can find an optimization which works well across those ones, then you can run your forward testing on a real live account. Try on a really small real account and let it run for maybe, let it run until you get enough data, enough that trades, and make sure it matches what you're seeing in your backtest. If your backtest is saying on average you're getting 95% win rate, and in your forward testing you're getting 30%, something is wrong immediately. So that's time to drop it. You have to start again. What you need to do is you need to find something that works in your live trading that matches the backtest results. And once you've done that, give it enough time where you feel confident. Once you feel confident that it's working, that's the same as your backtest, then you can go live. And go live means simply scaling into your account and going larger with the risk parameters that you're comfortable with. Now, no strategies last forever. You need to always keep watch of the statistics. So if you're now seeing that the trading results have dropped from, say, 95% to 60%, that edge that you had with your trading robot has probably gone, and it's now time to re-optimize. Now, for us, we are continually optimizing. I think it's important that you've got a whole list of different strategies that you could use. No strategies work all the time. By having different strategies across different instruments, you can just diversify the risk, and hopefully there's a right combination of trading systems that you can always keep running to ensure that you're always profitable. The other thing to note, the one last thing to note, is that you will notice that I used a particular broker. So this one, it's Darwin X. So when you're running your optimizations, just be wary that if you've made an optimization on Darwin X, for example, I have, and you're using a different broker, so IC Markets, run this back test on the other broker just to make sure the results look the same, because going from broker to broker, every broker has different parameters and different setups, and they may not be the same. So double check everything works on your broker before you go live. And that's it. I hope that gives you enough for now to get you started with optimizations. I know a few of you have asked about optimization for other pairs, other time frames. The custom time frame now is available. You can use that. So right now, all of our optimizations have been the US and EU Open. You can run optimizations against any time. We have focused on a few pairs, the main pairs and indices. You can use the optimization to try and find optimizations for the Asian breakout perhaps, and then the Asian pairs, yen pairs, which are quite well known. So try all of that. What we want to do is, if we can build a big database of different optimizations we can share with the community, it will really help everybody who's using the Ultimate ORB Trader. And we've already had people pass the FTMO test, so I know this works. And yeah, let me know how you get on. Feel free to drop any comments, send me a message, anything to make this better. I'm all ears. So happy trading, and we'll speak to you all soon.